Okay. All right. So we're going to officially start. And again, welcome everybody. So we have our standard housekeeping. Hopefully everybody's figured out how to use Zoom. We kind of went over the particulars of what's going to show up when it is recorded. If you have any other questions, you can put it in the chat. Anything else comes up, let us know. And so let's kind of start off with the simplest of all things at this point in time. I'm sure you've seen this. You've heard this. It can't be more clear. Stay home and stay safe. So the big thank you to everybody at this point in time who has done that. They've actively had an opportunity to just stay home. I know it's probably not as exciting as you wish it would be, but please just stay home, take an opportunity, and just to enjoy some time around the house. But the other thing is I want to thank those who've stepped up to volunteer. That's been a big thing. Thank you to those who have made donations, and thank you for Concord for doing your part. So again, Concord does a great job. Everybody does a good job about stepping up and being a part of this community. And there's definitely going to be a lot more need.
You want to hear it?
As the weeks continue. So, like I said, go ahead if you can when you do jump on the phone, go ahead and mute your phones. If not, I'll go through and maybe mute as we go if we need to. So, all right. So let's go ahead and start with kind of current state as of March 28th of what's going on right now. So I want to just kind of make sure everybody's still aware. Of course, the shelter in place is still happening. Of course, it is until further notice. There is not necessarily a defined date at this point, depending on who you talk to. I want to go over some council meeting recap stuff. We've had a number of things happening. So the meeting on Tuesday, March 20th, or 24th, the city council, we had 2 city council meetings this week. And so I want to make sure everybody kind of is aware of what was going on with both of them. So the first one was specifically to address the issues around Lennar and the letter that Lennar sent to the city of Concord in order to specifically define different aspects of us possibly moving forward or not moving forward with the Concord Air Weapons Station project. So in a letter that we sent back specifically, the council affirmed that the council was not in a position to determine that Lennar had satisfied the good faith clause under term sheet 16C, and that the city does desire that the agreement be held exclusively with the Contra Costa Building Construction Trades Council. There was conversations around prevailing wage and how it applied, but to a very specific section of the term sheet, section 17. And so finally, the city council declined to extend the ENA, which expires on March 31st of 2020. So at this point in time, more information will come after March 31st, and you'll start hearing more things as we go in the coming weeks. Next up, so we had another meeting followed up on Wednesday, March 25th. On March 25th, we specifically went ahead and reaffirmed everything in terms of the emergency order specifically, but we did need to go into it a little further about protecting tenants against evictions for failure to pay rent and establish a 90-day repayment window for each month of overdue rent beginning the first day of following the lifting of the moratorium. And so this talks about the different renter protections for both residential and commercial specifically. One of the way it currently does stand, just to make sure everybody's aware of it, is that for every 30 days that a renter is unable to pay rent, a 90-day repayment window needs to be established between them and the tenant and the landlord. But I do want to make sure that everybody specifically is aware that if you are not actually specifically affected by the COVID-19 epidemic, if you are still going to work normally and your paycheck is normally coming in, unfortunately that does not let you get off the hook for paying your rent, paying your mortgage, not being able to take care of those different obligations that you're required to pay. And that is consistent with the governor's orders as well. So that's something that kind of feels like there's a little misinformation or somehow as if we should be able to just go ahead and kind of get everything waived this month. That is definitely not the case. And so we just wanted to make sure that that was very clear. in terms of that conversation to be had with the landlord, there does need to be some level of just documentation or something to be able to have that conversation with the landlord. So it's very clear on what's going on. The city, however, did set up a hotline. If there are questions, there are concerns, there is a lack of being able to communicate with the landlord, the city of Concord does have a mediation or advocacy program that we've set up. So if you do need to give us a call about that, then we can definitely assist you in that manner. Okay. So of course, let's roll through this again. I'm gonna mute a few folks here as we go, just because I get a little feedback on a few people. So I want to go through essential services that will remain open. This is something, this list it has been relatively consistent, but again, it's just good to continue to share it. Healthcare, gas stations, pharmacies, different type of food. So the grocery stores, food banks, convenience stores, takeout and delivery restaurants specifically. We have banks, laundromats, and then some of the essential government functions are going to continue to stay open. The county does have a very large, I think it's like 7 or 8 pages that specifically lines out every single thing that is open or not open. And the goal is for everybody to be able to, the goal is not to be kind of ratting out your neighbor and constantly trying to have issues with this. The city of Concord does have reporting on the Concord Connect app. If you are concerned, you definitely can let us know. But it's something to where the goal is not to be trying to actively find people, but at least hopefully everybody decides to come in compliance. All right, so let's move to kind of course, what we know is not essential. There's, again, more misconceptions about what may not be essential, but these are the non-essential ones we want to make sure everybody's aware of. Landscapers, clothing retailers, hair and nail salons. I think everybody understands the whole restaurant thing at this point in time. So just want to make sure that we kind of go through that one last time. So the one I like to bring up is, as we're trying to help our businesses, specifically Concord Eats, it's a food program. We are trying to make sure everybody knows which restaurants are open for business and which ones aren't. If you go on to either the City of Concord website, onto the Concord Chamber of Commerce website, or the Visit Concord website, and Visit Concord is where the actual list lives. Everybody else is going to link to the Visit Concord website. You're going to see something that looks like this. It's our Eats and Treats website. It has everything in terms of who does takeout, who's doing delivery, who's doing curbside, and what that may look like. So if you have an opportunity, please help support our local restaurants. A lot of them are trying to move into this space. And so we're trying to do our best to be able to support our local small businesses right here in town. So I'm going to go ahead and kick this over to now Kevin from the Chamber. And Kevin, you want to go ahead and walk through some of the different business resources that you guys have available and things you've been working on this week to help our small businesses?
Yep. Thank you, Tim. At the Chamber, we've been getting a lot of calls on people needing information on how they can, get financial support for their business, and also questions about how they can help direct their employees for support. If you go to our website, and I put it in the chat too, so the information's there if you wanted to write it down. Go to concordchamber.com, and then on the cover page, you'll see a button that's highlighted in yellow. Click there, and a bunch of resources come up. I think if you're a small business, where I would start would be the Small Business Development Center. I think that will give you direction all the way through. We also have on there the Cameo link, which if you go to our, through our website, which will, you can play this webinar that the SBA, the Small Business Association, put together, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. So there's a lot of information there as well. But if I was a small business and I was looking for any kind of help, I would start with the SBDC, the Small Business Development Center. And in the chat, I also put the Chamber phone number. We are open from business. However, we're all working remotely. We're able to check our voicemail from our computers, as well as, so we are calling people back if they have questions. Whether you're part of the chamber or not, we're supporting all businesses right now any way we can. So, all right, thanks. Thank you, Tim.
Yeah, thank you. And there was another item in the chat about the Pioneer. We'll also have the resources pages. So there's a lot of different spaces that you can go to, whether it be the Pioneer, the Chamber website, Visit Concord, City of Concord. The goal is to make sure that there's a number of different places in terms of where people maybe interact, that they can find those resources. So, all right. So let's go ahead and we're going to thank you, Kevin, for that. Appreciate it. So let's talk. I want to make sure that everybody is aware of some of the kind of emergency services that are available. And this is something that is going to constantly be updating, but emergency food resources. So I'm going to go through some of the different areas at this point in time. The Monument Crisis Center, for those of you that don't know where it's located, it's at 1919 Market Street in Concord. They are going to have food distribution happening on Monday, March 30th, and Tuesday, March 31st, and Friday, March 3rd. Again, this information is available on their website. Again, things that can be pushed out there. They also will be accepting donations of perishable food items. So if you'd like to donate without even leaving your home, they do have the ability to do that. You can text MCC to 41-444. And we've got another group. It is the Park Haven Community Church, located at 1187 Meadow Lane. The emergency food distribution, they're going to be open on Tuesdays from 4 to 6, and there are going to be more dates available that will be happening. We'll go ahead and update you during next week's call, and then also, again, look for resources on the different websites that will be pushing out information. Finally, emergency food resources, grab and go, still reminding people, Clayton Valley High School has grab and go lunches, along with Mount Diablo Unified has grab and go lunches at Cape Bridge Elementary, Mount Diablo High School, El Dorado Middle, Meadow Homes Elementary, and Ignacio Valley. And want to continue to make sure people are aware of our senior food program at Helping Hands. This is something that, of course, is in partnership with the City of Concord, Meals on Wheels, and Mount Diablo Unified School District Food Services. This is open to all homebound seniors. It is a part of our Concord Cares program. So if you'd like to, if you know someone or you have a neighbor that could take advantage of this, neighborexpress.org specifically is the website that you can go on to sign up to be able to receive meals. The way this works is that it is meals for 7 days a week. You will receive meals from a volunteer that will deliver them directly to your home. And so they'll be delivered Monday through Thursday. And then on Thursday, you'll get Friday, Saturday, and Sunday that will come to that individual. And so I want to make sure everyone is aware of it. If someone is unable to access it via technology, if you dial the phone number, the 925-338-1441, you can also call. We do have people who are staffing that phone that can get those individuals signed up. So let me talk more about not just the senior food program, but there's about 3 different things that are going to be involved here. Helping Hands, also under Neighbor Express, if someone needs help, maybe just running to the grocery store, hardware store, pet store to pick up a small item. I didn't put it on here, but there is actually like a $50 limit. So the goal is not to necessarily doing an entire shopping trip, but those small, quick hit items, quick things that people may need. We're trying to at least make this service available. And finally, there was a question that came up about volunteers. And so in neighborexpress.org, there is a section that specifically has a volunteer section. And so Tamara, in terms of slides being available, the entire presentation will be online, and this entire presentation is being recorded at this point in time. But if you go to neighborexpress.org and you're interested in volunteering to be a senior helper or to be a driver, we can match you with that. We're also going to be using Neighbor Express volunteers. If other needs do arise and we have your email, we also may push it out to you just to let people know of a possible need for volunteers at that point in time. So let's go ahead. I want to touch on a few other things. Donation of supplies. Again, people keep looking into ways to help. So donation of supplies. This is from the county specifically, and they're asking for very specific items. And I say that because the goal is not to just get anything under the sun. They want eye protection, such as goggles and face shields, antibacterial disinfecting wipes. No baby wipes, though. That's something that's important. The N95 masks or surgical masks, again, in unopened containers or boxes, or medical gowns. So the closest donation site for us here in the city of Concord is at 1750 Oak Park Boulevard in Pleasant Hill. It's open from Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So next up, let's talk about some things let's actually stop there really quickly in terms of some of the resources, donations, and supplies. Are there any questions at the moment? I saw that there were a few questions that might have come in regarding possibly the Senior Helpers Program, some of the other resources. I'll move on after that, but I've got a few other things to round out. But okay, so no other questions, and Wayne, I'll come back. We'll come back to yours in a moment. I believe Valerie has also gone ahead and answered Wayne's question in the chat. Okay. All right, so let's talk about some other things. Virtual recreation. The city of Concord is in the process of kind of moving over and helping people stay active while they're at home, and think of some fun things that you can do from the privacy of your home. And so I want to share with you some different things that are going to be coming out that are exciting. So the city's going to be having some city challenges for you. We're going to be doing a baking challenge from March 21st through March 24th. I'm sorry. That's going to be, it's going to be updated. It's going to be happening next week. Of course, that would have been last week, wouldn't it have been? We're going to be updating that. We're going to be doing a baking challenge, learning new things challenge, and make a fort challenge. So we've got a few challenges that are going to be coming up here pretty soon. And so look for those. Those will be kind of fun as we all participate in those. Get some exercise, again, on the City of Concord website, linking to our Park and Recs department website page specifically. We've got yoga with core power, home workouts, different Zumba classes, and there's also some things for the kids. We've got Facebook Live, story time, Facebook or Skype a play date. So there's a number of resources that we're going to have fun kind of making available to people online. And again, we'll share those as things come out between all of us on the call. I'm sure we'll have fun sharing some of the different activities and challenges that we've got going on out there. So let's talk about staying healthy in Concord. These are some great little reminders from our friends at Visit Concord specifically. One of is, of course, stay active. So we've got free virtual dance classes with Funk Mode that is available. It is totally okay to be outside and taking a hike, of course, respecting social distancing. But if not, like I said, take a hike, bike the Iron Horse Trail, experience maybe some of Concord's historical walking tours of Todos Santos Plaza. But again, you can be out and about, but please just be mindful now. I will tell you as a reminder, our parks and our playgrounds are closed. A lot of people, we do have signs up at our parks and playgrounds. They are closed at this point in time. So please be respectful of not having kids running around on the playgrounds. So stay happy, make Concord zombies at home, color free Concord printable pages, virtual art cottage gallery tour. I had a chance to check that out. They're trying to kind of take you through the different art exhibits that are going on right now, which are pretty cool. And more virtual tours are going to be coming online through the City of Concord and our Park and Rec team, just to give you a few things. Again, most of these links and the things that you see here will be available online, and we'll make sure that you have these resources. Other fun things, stay well, Meals on Wheels. Through Meals on Wheels, there are a number of different programs that are going on. We have our Friendly Callers program, specifically Meals on Wheels, DiabloRegion.org. If you go ahead and log into their website, again, access to a number of different resources. Also, we have some other things around mental health. This isn't easy for a lot of people right now to be home and to be kind of socially isolated, and we understand that. So we wanted to give you some links to some of the different mental health websites, just things to be mindful of. And they're shared here on the screen, whether it be cchealth.org/mental health or mentalhealthfirstaid.org. And finally, stay safe. Safety reminder, Concord parks and playgrounds are closed. So I'm going to remind everybody one more time. And don't forget, keep 6 feet apart for social distancing purposes. But other than that, honestly, go out and do your best to have fun, do a little binge watching if you can, and do your best to enjoy yourself at home. Try to be mindful of when you have to go out, try to keep it simple. So let's go ahead. I'm going to open it up to questions at this point in time. I know we've had a few things come in on the chat, so I'm going to kind of see if it looks like, thank you to Valerie. I believe Valerie and Eddie had a chance to answer some of them. Let's see here. So we're going to start just to kind of reiterate some of them that came in. Let's see here. We have one of them. We have question about restrooms, and I wanted to, why are restrooms considered not essential? Access to restrooms and fresh water should be a basic human right. So let's, Valerie answered that. Wayne, we can't keep the public restrooms clean and guarantee that they aren't sources of spreading the virus. We have placed 3 porta potties and hand washing stations at 3 of our parks. So, because that has come up a few different times. What about disabled persons under 65? What resources are there? Help getting food deliveries to them, volunteer shopping for them, and delivering food. Why is this for seniors only? Again, we are, the program itself for senior helpers was specifically designed for seniors at this moment, but depending on what that rollout looks like, again, we're still in our first week of rollout. We are discussing that about possibly opening that up to disabled community. We do have some other resources though. If it's possibly an individual or other people, we have some other ways to connect them with other resources. There has been some conflicting reports from East Bay Regional Parks has closed most of the parking lots. Say hiking is okay, but walk in. Anyone has anything more on this? Again, the goal is not to be driving out to parks specifically. If you've got stuff hopefully around you, to kind of stay close. Of course, Mount Diablo's closed, but things like Iron Horse Trail, Lime Ridge Open Space are open. So some of the local trails in some cases are open, but the full-blown park components are not. Actually, Valerie, did you want to comment on that further?
So on our parks or on East Bay Regional Parks?
On both of them, but you know, kind of touch on each side of that.
East Bay Regional Park, as I understand it from the last time I got an update, was shutting down the parking lots for many of their popular parks because they were having too many people showing up and too much congregation of people without social distancing. But their trails are open, so if you can get to them from some of the less well-used locations or walk in, you can get into their parks. And in terms of the city of Concord, all of our parks are open. We have signs up, if not already, they'll be going up first thing on Monday, encouraging social distancing. We've closed all the playgrounds and signed them that way. So we're trying to allow people access to the open space, but discouraging group meetups and discouraging shared use of anything, such as the play equipment.
Yeah, thank you for clarifying that. Sorry, I didn't. Okay, also something Kevin from the chamber brought up, good information, childcare information. This has, of course, definitely been important. cocokids.org, great resource for childcare. Links can also be found on the chamber website through the business resource link. We've had a lot of conversations about the essential employees needing to be able to still find daycare at this point in time so that they can continue to go to work. And so there are definitely a number of resources that are out there. Let's see, Kevin, you had a question as well. Okay, let's see. Okay, okay, so let me read this. On Friday, Mayor Breed of San Francisco had a press conference and talked about what is SF doing, and SF health officer spent some time talking as well. Are you connected with Mayor Breed and help conquering COVID at a regional level? or working solo. So specifically as it relates to regionally, I would realistically, regionally, everybody is working together, not just from the state, but the county, the different county offices. That's why it was actually nice to see when we initially did the shelter in place order. It wasn't just Contra Costa, it wasn't just San Francisco. It was a multiple Bay Area counties did it together. And then that information is flowing down to the city, and collectively everybody is working together at this point in time. So for the most part, everybody is trying to be on the same page, so that one is not necessarily working against each other, and everybody's trying to do a good job of trying to share that information, so that we can kind of be working collectively together. It was brought up about what's going on with the different programs that are going to be happening during the summer. It unfortunately at this point in time, a good number of the concert series are going to be canceled, only because we don't know at what point things are going to reopen. We of course have said that possibly towards the tail end of the summer. It still might be tough to say, just because being able to bring a gathering of 5,000 people even at the tail end of this virus may not be a good idea. You think of that kind of concept of opening up the spigot in terms of being able to get back out. If there's still a few lingering cases, doesn't mean that it can't flare back up. So we really have to be careful about what are the things that are going on, what are the big events that are going on, and it's probably going to be advised that most large events and large gatherings are still going to need to be curtailed for a good number of months throughout the summer, and into the fall of this next year. So we're gonna have to watch that closely, but we're gonna have to be really careful about how we respond over the next few months. I see you said Kids Fest, really, and we'll see what happens with Kids Fest. That's a good one too. That may or may not, even by the time Labor Day comes around. It's definitely gonna be a question. So, all right. So I'm more than happy if you'd like to unmute your phone, if anybody wants to just ask any questions as well. I know we were kind of reading through the different items on chat, but anybody can definitely unmute your phones and ask any questions at this point in time. And also, if even in the chat, if there's other information you're looking for, the goal, we're going to do these every Saturday morning, just to be able to kind of do a recap of the week, just because there's so much information coming out. I want to make sure you at least are seeing some of the top highlights at this moment in time. And if not, don't hesitate to email me, or any of us at the City of Concord, but please shoot me an email if you have any questions. By all means, the phone also does work. If you're looking for information or you need help connecting on anything, please let us know. We'd be more than happy. We have a fantastic team we're working with at this point in time. I just want to give a good shout out to not just the city manager, my fellow council member, Eddie Brisson, but also my partners at the chamber, with Kevin and Melissa and Elaine from Visit Concord. We have, and our economic development staff. We have a really good team. I know that also other things happening behind the scenes. Our vice mayor and I, we've been working on some other food programs and building out our food distribution network, to be able to have other donation sites around some of the different churches and things like that. And you'll see more information on that next week. And so a lot of people have stepped up, and a lot of people are doing a really good job of trying to make sure that you've got the right resources in front of you. And so all I can ask is that you go ahead and share those resources, and when you have an opportunity, make sure that we will be using basically Facebook as the main way that we will be communicating. We'll do our best to put it on some of the other social media platforms, whether it be Instagram or Twitter, or on occasion Nextdoor. But if you want to kind of be, look for that one place on the social media side of things, most of the time it's going to be coming via Facebook. So, okay. So just one last thing, I'll say my email, because again, maybe not everybody's able to see it, but it's tim.mcgallian@cityofconcord.org. Again, don't hesitate to send me an email if you have any questions. If there are other programs or other things that I should be aware of that we maybe haven't connected on yet, please let me know. Let's see here. The Pioneer is working hard to support the community and stay alive through this crisis. We are posting items several times a day, working on the resources page, and keeping a community informed about our business. please share our post as well. Yes, absolutely. So thank you, Tamara, for doing that and making sure that things are connected. Eddie, did you have anything you wanted to put out there?
Yes, it's important for us to expand the audience here. And so therefore, it's really important for us to know how you guys found out about this, some of you from last meeting. And we really need everyone to echo out this meeting, because we're going to do it when again, another next Saturday at 10.
Yep, next Saturday at 10.
Okay, so please, if you can just send a message saying, okay, I had it from Facebook, I had it from Nextdoor, I had it from a pigeon, I got a direct email, whatever. I'd like to see that so I can understand how we're reaching people and where we're going. So again, your cooperation, just tell me Nextdoor, one word, bang.
Yep.
All right.
Thank you, Eddie, for that. And also too, if you can share out, if you can also share out the Facebook post, sometimes that helps. I tell people, you know, they get a little, and I'll make this disclaimer because you'll see this from even Councilmember Son. God love Facebook, but sometimes the Facebook ads come across funny. They may look like political ads because that's how Facebook does them, unfortunately. But I try to make sure we put that disclaimer out that nothing is political in nature at this moment in time. It is from information purely. But we apologize because sometimes you'll see things that will say it in that manner. So that can be confusing. So we just want to make sure that we are using these as a message center at this point in time. And again, Facebook kind of has their little fail-safe things in place because of election reasons and misinformation. So that's how it's couched. So just want to let everybody know that.
Hey, Tim, it's Kevin from the Chamber. I was going to say, if people wanted to go to our website or follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, we're constantly trying to feed information through those channels. So, and we're trying to feed really good quality, up-to-date info as well. So if you follow us, we can help promote this call and, you know, all that stuff moving forward.
Yep. And you guys did, which is great. Thank you so much for that. I know that the Pioneer did that. So just hopefully everybody has had an opportunity to make sure that we know what resources are out there. And our goal, again, with the partners who are on the call, is to make sure you've got the most accurate information as possible. We'll try to provide links throughout the week as things change. We know that there is a lot of things kind of flying around there right now. So we're just trying to make sure that it's in front of you properly. Yep, go for it, Ed.
It's important that we cover not only the things that we want, but we want to be able to cover the things that you want. So if you have topics for the next meeting, you can email the mayor at tim.mcgallian@cityofconcord.org, or you can, you know, put it in a note and send it out by carrier pigeon or something. But it's important for us.
I'm pretty sure the
just
carrier
our
pigeons
way to unload.
go to Eddie's house.
Yeah, go to my house.
You have
Avenue.
You have like a port for him, right?
Yeah. By the way, if you need your Pioneer, I got extra copies. I'll put them on the porch. But again, it's important for us not only to get out the information we want, but we also want to know what the information is that you want. And you know, ESP doesn't stand for Eddie Special Powers. We need you guys to tell us what you want. And that's important to us. So please, let us know what you want. Dominic's email blast goes to his district. I use Nextdoor. I'm trying to create a email blast for my district, which is about 5 times as larger than Dominic's. And we're trying to get notices out. I've been using Nextdoor, and so has Tim.
Yeah, and no, that's a good call, Wayne. Dominic actually has, he did put it in his. I know he did it last week. I'm not 100% sure on this week, but we'll make sure that goes out one more time, and we'll make sure this all gets shared out. So, all right, everybody. Well, hey, thank you so much for joining us today. Again, don't hesitate to reach out to any of us. We're more than happy. And if there's any last minute questions, I'll stick around for just a minute And if not, you guys can definitely enjoy the rest of your Saturday afternoon. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Okay.
We'll be howling at 8 o'clock every night on Venice Drive in Concord. So
There you go.
join
We'll
the
hear you.
howl. It was louder last night than it was the night before. So
Yeah, you do.
join in.
Good stuff.
So 8 p.m. is Community Scream Fest.
Yes.
It's a howl. I'm sure, Eddie, you have a very good howl, man. Get out there, do it.
Well, you know, us alpha dogs.
Tim, are you there?
Yeah, Tamara.
Hi. I am on George Fullmore's distribution list. Lucky me.
Oh, lucky you.
And,
Yes, absolutely.
Keeps my email alive. But I did, from time to time, he does raise an interesting point. And one of the last ones in the last couple of days, he brought up a question about any kind of assistance or aid to the landlords who are to be foregoing. And I'm not thinking about the big corporations. I'm thinking about guys like Blaine Carter and, you know, the smaller individual landlords. Is there going to be any kind of extension of aid or assistance or forbearance to landlords, or city assistance, or anything the chamber can do?
But that's actually a really good question. So I will tell you that we're trying to do what we can to chase that down. One thing that we a lot of people aren't necessarily, even the landlords, I don't think know, is that they're eligible to apply through the SBA and through some of the different government-related programs, because they too are a small business.
Right, right.
And so that's one thing that I don't think they realize, that they're able to apply for that different aid. But I will say, though, that there's a lot more to come out. I mean, yes, the governor, between what the governor's trying to continue to roll out and what the stimulus bill that got put out, there's going to be a lot more that's going to have to be addressed in that at this point in time. I think that initially we needed to take on dealing with residential tenants and commercial tenants, just because there was such a knee-jerk reaction to so many people so quickly. That's where it started. And then over the course of the next week, I guarantee you're going to see a lot more coming in regards to how to make sure we prop up the landlords. I mean, even in even in the shopping centers as well. So it's not just maybe, you know, the multifamily housing, it's the different shopping centers that are getting shuttered.
Right,
right. So no, there's going to be more to come. I don't have a specific pin down answer, but at least there is the one resource is definitely SBA is making that available to landlords, and there are some other resources available that way.
Okay.
Okay.
From time to time, there is something.
Yeah, no, but that's a real important one, because I mean, you know, just because they pay rent, I mean, it's not like every landlord is always cash. You know, it's a lot of cash on hand or a lot of reserve.
Come out that George puts out.
Yeah. Too.
Well, there's just so much that if he did say something of relevance, I'd miss it.
Yeah. Yeah, it happens every once in a while. So. All right. Any other questions? Anybody?
Nope, I'm good. Tim, thank you very much.
Yep. Hey, thanks for joining us, and we look forward to seeing everybody next week.
Okay.
Thanks, Tim.
Eddie, you and I need to finish our conversation.
Yeah, I'm waiting for advice from Suzanne Brown and Valerie on.
Perfect. Thank you
Okay.
all. Happy
All right.
Saturday.
Bye.